Hey everyone, I'm Jer.
And I'm Gel.
We're here to spice up your day with some thought-provoking questions and juicy insights into our lives.
That's right. We're new in our relationship journey of multiple marriages, and we're not afraid to ask the tough questions.
Join us as we dive deep into topics like parenting, trust, communication, sex, chores, fears, accomplishments, and desires.
We're all about transparency and open communication. So get ready for an entertaining and enlightening ride.
Stay tuned for our upcoming episode where we'll share laughs, surprises, and maybe even a few secrets.
Don't miss out on the Jer and Gel podcast, where every question leads to a deeper connection. As good as it's gonna get.
Looks pretty good, baby.
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
It's Friday.
Finally.
Oh my gosh, the longest week of my life.
It was a long week. Busy? You had a lot of stuff going on,
I'm still in my work clothes. That's how busy.
That is very busy. That is very busy.
Yeah. Just a lot of stuff. But we got through it. I had some presentations I needed to do today and got through it.
Yeah.
And now I'm glad to be home, sipping on some vino con mi esposo. You know what that means?
That you are drinking some wine with your husband.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we have a wonderful podcast that I think is going to get a lot of attention.
You do?
And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got some.
Loving the confidence.
I have some questions for you.
Oh no.
I do.
Maybe.
I thought about this. I was like, what questions can I ask my wife that I don't know yet, or that I maybe do not have like a definite answer on, and kind of what would relate to other people in other relationships that maybe this type of question is not asked. One of the things that we've been, and we constantly say, and we constantly share, which we will always say, and we will always share, is that we are very transparent, that we believe communication is key in a relationship.
We do.
You know, I think, of course, I know the first and most important thing is God in your life, right? Any relationship, that should be your main goal. And your main
priority.
Yeah, main priority. There you go. But aside from that, in your relationship with your spouse, you should have communication, because if you do not have communication, there's confusion. If you don't have communication, there's assumption. If you don't have communication, there is a lot of room for fault on both parts. There's room for error and bad decisions. And there is definitely not closeness. Intimacy. Ooh, that's a good one. Wow. You're like a walking thesaurus.
No.
You have a synonym for everything.
No.
I like it.
I
do
not.
like it. I love it. Yeah. You're very wordy.
I am a wordy person.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you want to just kick it off?
I'm getting a little nervous now because you just like.
Do you want to jump right in?
I don't know what kind of questions.
You know what?
Should I have peed before doing this?
Probably. If not, these chairs are going to get baptized today, baby.
Oh my goodness.
But I guess just a disclaimer for everyone. We have not asked these questions ahead of time.
Nope.
We've not prepared.
What is today? Q&A with Jer and Gel.
Yeah. So I had written up like some generalized questions at first that I sent to her, and I was like, here's some questions. She's like, no, I have my questions and I'm not sharing them.
Nope.
So I was like,
we're doing this blind, baby, blind. You know, like that show that we have watched,
Love is Blind?
Love is Blind. Well, today
Ooh, we should have put a barrier. Oh, I should have went and got one of those clear
No.
glass things, and we could have had the lights changing.
No.
And I can't see you, but they can see you. And then you can't see me, but they can see me. And yeah,
That would have been interesting. But
we're gonna do that one of these days, and we're gonna do a
today's a
Love is
blind.
Blind.
Oh my! Today is a blind.
I would struggle
episode,
with that. I like
basically.
seeing you. I already know what you look like.
I know. You know what I look like.
Yeah.
But
I
yes,
like looking at you.
today's a blind.
I already can't touch you. One of my senses is already not being used.
Baby, déjame hablar. Today is a blind episode. We don't know what we're gonna tell each other.
I do. I know.
No, you don't know what I'm gonna say, and you don't know. I don't know what you're gonna say. That's what I'm
yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so what am I doing? Let's see. Do you want me to?
Ooh, that's good.
I know you didn't see. You didn't catch my reaction because you were talking, so I did a silent reaction. I was like, right? It's because it's a bourbon barrel aged, and any Cabernet that is bourbon barrel aged, we just love.
Yeah.
Anyways. Why am I asking my questions first?
You don't have to. I can ask.
So
I can do.
So I'm kind of curious to see your layout of your questions because I put mine into 6 different categories.
I didn't. I have 21 questions, but some of them have 2 parts. So I might have one question that is a one question, but with the A part.
You're
so it might be a
complicated.
2-part question.
You're complicated.
I'm complicated. You have 6 categories.
I have 6 categories with 3 questions in each one. See?
Yeah, I didn't do
Mira.
that. I didn't do that. I just have number 1.
Okay.
What is that question? And then number 2.
Do you want to
A,
take turns?
do you feel?
You want to take
like
turns?
You? Yeah.
All right, let's play question roulette. Pick a category. You have the options of 1, connection, 2, about the future, 3, about the past, 4, about the present, 5, silly questions, or her face cracks me up, or 6, random questions.
This is how you know a man and a woman both come with questions. My questions are waffled. Hers is
Organized.
spaghettied.
No, mine are organized. The last one was random questions. So pick a category.
You said this is going to be a random. So random means you ask a random question and I ask a random question. And we're
But
at
I
it.
have categories, and I want you to pick your category. You want.
Future. I go with future, Alec.
Who's Alec?
Alec Trebek.
Who's Alec? Are you talking about from Back to the Future?
No. You do not know who Alec Trebek is?
No. Do you remember?
Have you ever not watched Jeopardy? I know you used to watch Jeopardy.
I mean, I know of Jeopardy. I know of the woman in white.
I know you've heard it in the background multiple times.
I don't remember. That's an old show, babe. You do know our age gap, right? Like, if you would have told me Wheel of Fortune.
Jeopardy.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
You want a future question. Okay. When you look ahead, what makes you the most anxious about our future?
The only thing right now that I kind of always have on the back of my mind is career. I don't really worry about us together. Mm-hmm. I know we haven't had any like difficult issues or we haven't gone through anything hard yet, but I tend to think of my career and how that is going to affect us without knowing what's to come. One reason is I'm not like, this is not my dream job. Mm-hmm. I'm not in the place where like I'm fully satisfied, I guess, and I don't feel like I'm using my full potential sometimes. And then just finances. I guess the reason why I'm in this place right now is because finances have been where what we want, but it's nice. Like we're not struggling for anything. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't.
You get anxious about
sometimes
your career. Okay, I think that's pretty. I think a lot of men get anxious about their career and finances. I think that's a normal thing for men.
It is, because as a man, you're a provider. You want to build and you want to provide and you want to make sure that you have everything available for your family, that you're providing for your wife, that you're able to take care of everything. And I don't take care of everything. But as of right now, like, we are in a very good place where both of us have really good jobs, and
it's a teamwork, baby.
Yeah. But the goal, is to free you up to give you. The
goal? What's the goal?
My wife wants to be a passenger princess at home.
No. I want to be a spoiled, well-kept wife.
And which I don't mind. I do not mind that at all.
Which you already do. You spoil me. You keep me well, baby. But I want to do it from home
without a job,
without an 8 to 5.
Or
I still want to work. No,
job.
I still want to work. I just don't want an 8 to 5 job.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, yeah. It would be nice to. The one thing is freedom. What does everyone want? Freedom, freedom to do the things that they want to do. Freedom, financial freedom. There's also freedom of time. Like, you want your time to be used the way you want, not the way a corporation wants you to use it,
Yeah.
Spend more time with your family, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think a lot of people would love that. So what do you do to get there? You work harder. So that's what we're doing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, right. Okay, that was my category question. So for your category question, would you like fear, love?
You said you didn't have categories.
I'm just throwing it out there. I kind of know what my questions are. So would you like me to finish the categories?
Yes.
Fear, love, intimacy, present, or chores?
What? Intimacy, please.
If our sex life took a turn where you were not pleased, how would you communicate that? And part 2, which is actually part 1. How do you feel about our intimacy level? Question mark.
Hold up.
That's 2 different things.
My
2 different
brain's
parts.
Already asking more questions. Hold up.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? But my 2 questions just generated like 13 more questions.
But you said their second part, intimacy. What kind? Are you talking about like physical, or are you talking
intimacy.
About just in general?
Intimacy in general, not sexual. The first part is sexual. The first question I asked was sexual.
Okay, so how would I communicate to you if I was starting to think our sex life was...
If you were not being satisfied.
If I was not being satisfied. Okay.
If I was not...
Got it.
Bringing
That's
what you need.
That's an easy one, baby. That's an easy one.
No, it's not. It's not easy.
How is that
it's not easy?
I would just tell you. I mean, most people wouldn't, right? I feel like most people would feel bad going to their spouse and being like, babe.
Most people may not have that
relationship
freedom to do that.
Well, one of the things I really love about our relationship is that I feel like I can be myself with you 100% at all times. I can be silly.
We're not on that question. We are on a different question right now.
You don't...
You can't answer something you have not been asked yet.
Well, I'm trying to answer your question. So my answer to your question is, because we have an open communication, open relationship where I feel comfortable of being myself, I would just be like this, babe.
When she uses the term open relationship, That does not mean that we allow each other to go outside of our marriage for sexual pleasure.
That is correct. I mean,
or we bring people in for sexual pleasure. Open relationship means communication. Thank you. Just disclaimer. Just had to tell because I know someone was like, oh, they have an open relationship.
No, we do not. Definitely not. Okay, so
GROSS.
I would probably come up to you and I would approach you and I would say something like, "Baby, can I ask you a question?"
Yes. What is it, babe?
What do you think?
What's going on?
What do you think about our sex life right now?
Oh, I have the best sex life. So, man, last night. Why did you look at me like that?
Just keep going. We're role playing. Go ahead.
Her eyes got like.
Go ahead.
No, I think it's amazing. I there's a couple things that I could probably ask for more, but I like it. It's good. I think it's 100.
Well, you know what, baby? I think that's amazing. I think that's great that you feel like that and that I can satisfy you and you feel satisfied in our sexual relationship. I would like to share with you that I need a little bit more from you.
More what?
Well, this is what I need from you. And then, I mean, I don't need anything right now. Well, actually, I don't know. I would say something like that. That's how I would communicate it with you. I would tell you, I love our sex life. I love the way you please me, but I would like a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that. Or I think this would take it to the next level.
Wow, that was positive, baby.
I would you got to do that because
positive.
I'm not going to try to bring you down and tell you, oh my gosh, I am not feeling it. You suck. Like, that's not me. I'm going to tell you, I like it too. I like connecting with you in that way. However, I think to take it to the next level for me, I would need this from you. And then just go about it like that. It's not that hard.
I like that. Now, in that question, since you skimmed over the joy of it and just said, oh, this is how I'd answer, is there anything that you would feel is lacking in our relationship?
Of course.
And how
Nothing's perfect.
How would you relay that? How do you relay that?
Oh, you want me to tell you right now?
Yeah.
Like in front of everybody?
And we are live and transparent and asking questions today. So even if it's, and like I said, we came into this knowing that we're going to share.
Okay.
Maybe there's some things that might be difficult for us to hear.
Bueno, pues.
Or there might be some things that we haven't really expressed, but we're not going to be shallow in this, right?
No.
We want to be
I'll
open.
be honest. Yeah, sure. For sure.
Because in any relationship, there's always going to be something that can always be better.
Yeah. Okay.
And why not have the discussion while we're having it?
Oh, my.
Right now.
I mean, no relationship is perfect. Nothing. But I want what every woman wants. What do you think that is?
Let me.
I know you know.
Foot rubs.
Well, that's awesome, but that's
massage. You want to be warmed up.
I want to be warmed up. I need more foreplay. I don't want to, just jump the gun and go ahead and do it. No, you gotta heat the oven. Get it to a certain
heat.
Yeah, get it to a certain temperature, And then, boom. You got to start with an appetizer, then go to the main course. That's all. I mean, you do that. You do that. You have done it.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but not all the time.
All the time.
I would like it more often. That's all.
So with foreplay, as mentioning that, foreplay isn't only something that happens while you're in the bedroom.
No. I believe foreplay can start from the moment you wake up.
So, let me ask you something, because yesterday you had a busy day. You were a little overwhelmed with things around the house.
Yeah.
So I came home a little bit early. I swept. I attempted to mop. I got clothes washed, dried, put away. I still have a load in the dryer that I need to put away. But something like that, is that Is that considered like a foreplay? Is that
No.
more mental thing, or is that just that's an act of service that you appreciate, which gives you more?
You're asking me questions that are off your list.
I am, but that's the whole.
So that
thing.
is not foreplay to me. That
Okay.
is minimizing my stress level because you're helping me do something around the house,
Which opens you up more for.
It does. It opens me up more to, have more sex, to give you more attention. So it frees up my mental space, of course, because I'm going to be thinking about it. And I am. I think I'm already thinking about next week. So if you help me more, then I have more to give back.
Yeah.
Like it's a give and take relationship. You give and I give back.
So intimacy, so foreplay for you is you're talking about more once we're in the bedroom.
Yes, or you can send me some spicy text messages throughout the day.
Okay.
Say some sweet somethings through text, before you leave for work in my ear or something, or you can start touching me in the morning, and then it's an all day thing.
Yeah, it does open up. It does for a woman. It gives having that attention and discussion and little things throughout the day kind of get you prepared or whatever.
Now,
and then when you do get home, then the touch and
then like
the
my
kissing
tank, then my love tank is like not all the way full, but it's like getting there.
But it's not you coming home from work and not hearing from me and a busy day and I'm like, hey baby, how you doing?
Go.
Start taking your clothes off, let's go. And you're like,
exactly.
Whoa.
Exactly. Whoa. Preheat the oven. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I use the microwave.
Well, some days a microwave is needed. You got to just
There's days you didn't even go through the microwave. You're like, I walk in the door and she's like, I'm in the bedroom.
When? That's been a while.
That was still you.
Well, yeah, so that's what I mean by that.
But that creates excitement
It
too.
does,
Spontaneous
and full
things
body
sometimes
rubs,
are nice.
full rub down with lotion. That just, like a sensual body rub, that always helps. I'm just saying.
Nice. I like
what was your
baby.
part 2? Because I don't think I answered your part 2.
Part 2 was, how do you feel about our intimacy level?
Oh, I think I kind of already answered that. Right? No? I would say I'm highly satisfied.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any complaints, baby. In any level. And, well, intimacy, we did a podcast on intimacy. There's different types, right?
Yeah.
So, like our physical intimacy, satisfied. Our emotional intimacy, that's pretty satisfying as well. I can come to you about anything and vice versa. Like, we're emotionally connected.
Is there anything lacking?
I think
Because you said pretty satisfied.
no, I don't
Nothing
think there's
that you
anything.
think of that might be lacking?
No. And wait, in the emotional part? I don't know.
If I was to evaluate myself in that level, I would say we are lacking.
Why would you say that?
Because intimacy is not only sexual.
Right.
Intimacy is physical. There is mental, but there's also spiritual.
Yes. You didn't let me get to spiritual. I think we're lacking in that one.
That's where I would assess.
But that's not
if
emotional.
we were. But so what do you? Is there anything that you did feel like lacks in emotional? Because you said yes.
I didn't say yes. I said I don't know. That's what I said.
That's a yes.
Rewind.
That's a yes.
Oh, you speak girl talk now?
I do. I speak wife talk.
Actually, I have been thinking about that lately. And I can't really pinpoint it. That's why I don't know. That's why I haven't brought it up to you, because I don't know how to articulate it. But I know that there's something
In the emotional portion.
yeah. And in the emotional intimacy between us, I do feel like there is something lacking, but I haven't pinpointed it yet. So that's why I haven't come to you about it. But I will when I find out. I don't really.
Do you think it's dealing with our amount of time that because there for quite a while, we took a 3-month break from our podcast.
Yeah, right.
Our discussions, we still have discussions, but not like this.
Not,
we don't have
right.
we don't have a
this quality time.
I guess you could call this a forced discussion.
Full hour of talking, like
yeah, because we'll be here probably an hour and 20 minutes or so.
Okay, so yeah, that's why I haven't shared with you about that part, even though I have thought about it in like the last couple weeks. And
but do you think it deals with that? The fact that we hadn't had as much discussion?
No, I don't think it has to do with that.
I'm interested to see what it comes out to be.
I don't know yet.
Do you know, or you just not saying?
No,
Okay.
I really don't know. If I knew, I would tell you.
Yeah. I believe that.
I don't know. I'll think about it and I'll pray about it and I'll get back to you. How about that?
I like it.
The spiritual part, on the other hand, the spiritual intimacy, yes, I do think, we serve at church. We do go regularly even when we're not serving.
Yeah.
And I started my verse mapping class and you started, well, I guess just reading the Bible more. But I think we could pray together more often than we do. And not just together, but even like with Carter.
Yeah.
And I guess I think what we need to do is get closer to God and read our Bible more individually, because we have to do our work individually in order for us to come together, right? Yeah. So I think that could,
I agree,
use some more, be more consistent, I would say. Yeah. But other than that, no, I am pretty satisfied, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that was my question, right? So you answered.
It's my turn?
Okay, it's your turn.
My turn. Okay. You do know I have 6 categories, so you need at least 6 questions, and we're already halfway through this podcast.
Yes.
Okay. Pick a category.
Let's go with...
Do you remember?
Silly.
Oh, my. Okay. Silly question for Jer. Well, I want to ask you all 3.
Go ahead.
Okay. Is there anything that you feel like you can't or don't like talking about with me? Oh, wait, that's wrong. That's not a... Shoot! That's not a silly question! Don't think about that.
I was going to say that.
Don't think about that.
That's kind of... Not on the serious side, but that was
That's a present question. Don't think about that question.
Okay, let me... Hold on. Delete it.
I'm sorry.
What was that question again?
I'm reading it wrong. Okay, the silly question for Jer is... If our marriage was a movie, what genre would it be?
Oh, it would be romantic comedy.
I agree. Yes.
Easy.
Easy peasy. Okay, second silly question. If our house started burning and everyone else, including me, the kids, and the family pets, are safe, what item would you take one last dash into the house to save?
My old cigar box.
Why?
Because it has silver in it.
Baby. I knew that. It does have. I have all your silver coins in it.
Being truthful, I would probably grab my guitar.
Which one? You have 2.
My acoustic guitar.
Because it's sentimental to you.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it sentimental to you? You got to share.
Because when I first learned, guitar,
Mm-hmm.
my dad had given me a guitar that he used to use, and it was an acoustic. It was an old Ovation, but it was like, it was jacked. It was like all tattered and beat up.
Mm-hmm.
But when I learned how to play and I started using the talent that God gave me with church and at church and stuff. One day he said, "Hey, we're going to take you to the music store and go get you a guitar." And I'm like, "Okay."
Mm-hmm.
So we went to Music World at that time, and we walked in, and I was looking at these, $300 guitars and looking at the small stuff and being like, "Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that." And he's like, I remember him walking, and he was kind of walking around looking at stuff, and I think he went to the guy that was in there, and he was like, "What's the most expensive guitar that you have in here?" And the guy told him, "Oh, well, that would be our section over here, and these run from $900 to $2,200 or whatever." And at that time, that was a lot of money for a guitar. And I remember kind of looking at the smaller ones, and then I walk over and look at some other ones, and he goes, "Look at all the guitars." He said, "Anyone that you see that you like, you can get." And I'm like, "Okay."
And you still have it.
So I started looking at some, and they had the really high-end ones that were like $2,500 and $2,200, and I didn't like the way they looked. But there was this one that kept standing out, and it had a little sun and moon, and had crescents and like stars and all kinds of inlay on it. And I kept looking at that one, and I go back and look at something else. I didn't ever grab it, but finally the guy says, he goes, "You keep looking at that one up there," and I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's like pretty cool, but I don't know."
And how much was it?
It was $1,800.
Okay.
And pulled it off, grabbed it, and he's like, "Here, go play it." And oh my gosh,
And you loved it.
it was just like, it just fit. It was great. So I've had that since 1998 when we bought it, and I've kept it in very good shape. And when my dad passes and my family, it'll be something that, yeah, it's something that I can keep until I'm older, and then I could pass it on to one of our sons, or kind of go from there. So
I wish they played. Maybe one will learn.
Maybe
Maybe our grandbaby will learn how to play guitar.
Maybe.
No.
There's gonna be someone.
That's
it
awesome.
Always happens.
I love that story. That's why I made you share it.
Yeah, I kind of think those are like the main things. That would be the main thing. I would probably grab the guitar. Yeah.
Good.
Because that would burn.
It would, for sure. Okay, I have one last silly question. It's a two-part. What's your go-to flirtation technique?
My go-to flirtation
What
technique?
is it? And can you do it for me now?
Oh my gosh.
What is it? And do it for me now, baby.
I don't think I have a to-go-to. It's just in the moment. It's like when I see you in a certain, I don't know, she'll give me a look, or she'll be sitting, sometimes she's just on the couch in pajama pants and a top, and oh my gosh, it's just like, "Oh, hey girl.
Oh my.
Hey girl, hey." Yeah, not that I'd say that.
I don't know if you're very flirtatious. Like, I don't think, I've thought about this question. I don't really think you have a specific flirtation like technique. Like, okay, so think about your single years. Did you have a flirtation technique you used with every young woman?
No, I would just talk to people. I think it'd just be open and communicate. Like, just talk.
I think you have a flirtation technique without even knowing it.
I don't know. One time we went to go dancing.
It's your goofiness and silliness.
And we were dating, and I got invited to go to Bourbon and Boots because they were going to go country dancing. And you called me and said, "Hey, you should come out here. We're going to dance for a little bit, blah, 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 blah." And I was like, it's like whatever day it was, a Friday or Wednesday. I'm like, the line is going to be out the door.
Oh, that was Dirty Bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
One of those.
It was the one on Montgomery.
Yeah. And you told me, you're like, "Just come. Find someone in line and get in. You know how to do it. You'll be fine." Da, da, da. And I'm like,
I was like, be your charming self. Get in front of the line. Ask a woman. Tell them. Make up something.
yeah.
And what'd you do?
I did.
He went to the front of the line, talked to a group, and
Well, there was 2 girls,
some guys.
and then I had told them, and they were there was one guy with them, but I told them I started talking to them, and they were like not feeling it. So then there was a girl like behind or in front of them, and she kept like turning her head, like, "What are you guys talking about?" Like. And I was like, "Hey, how are you? What up? Hey,
Being charming.
I've got some friends inside." And, and anyways, went in.
But I think you paid them $40.
I did. I gave her some money. I told her I said I will
pay for you
give
to get
you some
in.
money, get your first drinks, or I will pay for your cover to get in. And she's like, "Oh, okay, that's fine."
And you got in.
Yeah, and I gave her like $40 or something like that. So
we got in and we danced for like 2 hours.
yeah, I did.
So
it was fun.
Yeah, I don't know
had a
about
good
the
time.
flirtation technique. I think it's just you being silly and goofy and charming. It's like it's just your naturalness. You know? Yeah. Okay, well, that's all my silly questions. My turn.
Wow. Do you want a serious question or a love question or a fear question?
I want Jer's pick.
Well,
I want to know what Jer wants to know.
I think I already answered this one, so I'm going to take that out.
Okay.
Have you ever felt insecure with me or about yourself due to something I have did or I have said or done?
No. You've never made...
that was easy.
You've never made me feel insecure about anything. Well, wait, hold up. Hold on. Now I want to know the same thing about you. Because if you're putting that in there, maybe you think you feel insecure about something that I have said or done.
No.
Because I joke a lot. I tell you, when you need to stop eating cake. And
I don't take that. No, I do not take that personal because I know that I need some work in those areas.
Well, because remember after church one day, I told you, baby, I feel convicted today. Remember? Yeah, I was like, I felt convicted because of how I had talked to you like during the week or earlier about your weight. And even though you're fine, I love you the way you are. But I was like joking about like, you better not do,
you better lay off those Dorito chips or
well,
whatever.
I felt convicted. I was like, man, I'm not really uplifting my man right now. Like, I'm like putting him down. And I know it's in a jokingly way, but for some reason that message at church just was like, whew, I need to apologize. Way, yeah. And you just started laughing at my apology. You remember that?
Because I don't have any insecurities in that. Like
I know you don't.
when you build me up more than making little comments like that, I don't take that as
personal,
like a personal thing. Mm-hmm. Now, if it was that all the time, if you were putting that much into, making comments about me than as you do is lifting me up, then it would probably be different. But you do a good job at really making me feel good about myself. You make me feel secure in our relationship. You make me feel like I'm good enough, which no one should really ever make you feel. But I do. I feel those things in our relationship. So
good, baby. My turn. That was easy. Okay. Would you like connection, future, past, present, silly, random?
Connection.
When do you feel most loved by me?
Yesterday.
Babe.
I came home and I parked in the garage and I opened up the door of my car and I smelled cake.
That wasn't yesterday. That was 2 days ago. It was my remote day.
2 days ago, I parked in the garage and I opened up my door and I went to get my backpack and I smelled cake.
Hold up.
And she has not made a homemade cake. Like, I'm talking homemade frosting. She took the time to bake it and put it in the oven and warm it up. and it was fresh and ready to go. As all she had to do was ice it. But when I walked in, I was like so ecstatic.
Babe.
I think when you do stuff like that for me, it just makes me feel loved. It makes me feel like you care about what I like. Like when you give me something, like when you give me stuff that you know that I really enjoy, when you go on a trip and you bring me cigars, or you go and buy whatever, things that I love, and you do that randomly and spontaneously, it just, I love it.
Okay. All right. You answered the question.
And I love cake.
Yes, you do. We all know Jer loves cake.
Although I think the dogs got into it because there's like chunks of cake missing, but not the frosting, out of the cake bowl.
Oh, you think that the dogs went...
I'm just saying. I don't know.
You think the dogs went on the counter and got pieces of cake?
With a spoon. Because it's like perfect little ovals, like taking out of the...
You know that was me.
You ate the breaded cake without the frosting?
I don't like frosting.
I
only like cake.
Yeah. I noticed that earlier.
I was having a sweet tooth craving. I just had a couple bites.
Without frosting.
With no frosting. Because frostings were the sugar.
I've never got that. My dad used to like cakes, but he didn't want it frosted. I'm like, that's just bread. Why don't you just go get a loaf of bread and eat it?
No, it is not
it's the same thing.
It is not just bread. It's sweet bread. It's still sweet. It's just not excessively sweet. And I prefer whipped cream frosting. You like the real frosting. And I'm like, nope, whipped cream frosting. Or a cream
You made
cheese.
it kind of creamy, though. You've made it like a mixture of both, where it's like true buttercream frosting with whipped mixed into it.
It's not whipped. That is not whipped.
It was whippy for me.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. I enjoy making you happy and pleasing you in any way, not just sexually, like in any way. So
well, I was very pleased,
and I loved your reaction. It was epic. I was like,
I smell cake. I like ran in the house.
I didn't even.
Why do I smell cake? Why do I smell
yes,
cake?
you did. If you didn't catch the video, check it. It is pinned on our TikTok account.
Yeah.
But I actually wasn't even planning on recording your reaction, but I heard the door and I was like, oh, right away I was like, maybe I should record. Maybe he'll say something. And yeah, sure enough, you did not disappoint, baby. You were adorably
That was
awesome.
beautiful, baby. Beautiful moment.
My turn.
My question now. What's one thing you wish I understood better about you?
Why you gotta give me some hard questions? Okay. Well, you know,
that's a Jeopardy theme movie. Alec Trebek, you know.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think that's kind of hard because I feel like you do understand me pretty well. However, I don't think you understand what goes on in my brain a lot of the time.
No, I do not. I can confirm.
What I mean is, I don't think you understand what having a clean house does to me mentally. Like, I cannot function in any area of my life if the house is like a mess. Like, my environment has to be a certain way for me to thrive in other areas. That's how I feel. I've always, like, right now our room and our bathroom's like a mess, and I'm just like, you know, life does get in the way, and sometimes I don't have time, and that's fine. But as long as the majority of this stuff is done, like, I'm like, okay, like, I can't study for my real estate exam when I have a messy room, or even like work on my work stuff. Like, I just can't. I mean, I could, but I would be thinking about it. Like, I would look around and I'd be like, nope, I got to get this done first.
Your clutter space department
takes up space, and it's
taken up.
Yes, and I don't think you get that. a lot of the times.
No, because
you can
nothing
work-
bothers me. I can.
No. You can work when the dogs are eating their crap on their beds in the living room.
No.
And like, yes.
That I don't do. I
Well,
do.
I mean, they don't do
if
that,
I notice it, I clean it up and I get rid of it and stuff. But
they like to bring stuff in from the backyard.
Yeah.
But I'm like, stop. I
they're
mean,
messy.
or like the dishes, like going to bed with dirty dishes. I just can't. Like, then you wake up and then I don't want to cook. So like if the kitchen's clean, I'll cook more often. But if the kitchen's not clean, then I don't want to cook in that kitchen. You know, like stuff like that. Yeah. I think that's the only thing really.
Which I think familiar with.
Which I think you already knew.
Yeah.
You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just need to show you how to mop. I'll teach you.
Yeah. I can grow in that area.
We can all grow, baby, in all areas.
When my number 8 question would come up, what chores or responsibilities do you feel burdened by? Basically, those are them.
Me?
Those are them. Dishes, house.
I will tell
mopping
you, but
and floors.
I will
usually
tell you.
Are the things that
I will
get
tell you the most.
overwhelmed.
The most is laundry, which you help out. You always put it away, so that's great. Is that and the floors and the dishes? Mm-hmm. Yes. I think that we need to get the house deep cleaned.
Yeah.
Like we need to hire someone to do it because it would take. I don't mind doing it, but it just takes a lot of time, and time is something that I don't really have right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we've been busy with work, with children, with church.
I mean, I could probably make time. I could cut time and cut time out of other stuff and make time.
But then we start lacking in other things.
And then I'm exhausted, and then it's just so it would be nice. Maybe we can hire someone soon.
I offered.
I know you
I
did.
had set an appointment.
I wasn't ready,
and my wife was like, babe, I cannot do this. I was like, babe, you don't even have to be here. Yes, I do. I need to. I'm like, okay.
I wasn't ready. Okay. I wasn't mentally prepared. Okay. You know why? Okay. Listen, letting a stranger in your home, like, I need to see reviews. I need to see their work. Like,
I thought you had already knew who this person was.
Well, I know them
met them.
I know of them from school. I don't, like, know their business.
Oh, okay.
So I need to know that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And you know how picky I am about cleaning. Like, if I'm going to hire somebody to do a deep cleaning job and then I come home and have to do it anyways because they didn't do it right, then it's a waste of money.
Kind of like cleaning before the cleaning person comes.
Shut up. Yes.
Your question or mine?
What's
do. Next?
I do clean before someone comes and cleans. Not clean. Pick up.
Okay.
Sure. Pick a topic.
Present.
Okay. This is a 2-part question. Is there a couple who that we know that you know, I don't have to necessarily know them, who has a relationship that you look up to and admire? And what is it about their relationship that makes you feel that way? Wow, you're really thinking about this. I'm kind of curious to see if we have the same couple in mind, but we probably don't.
Man, that's like there's a lot that comes to mind on that. Mm-hmm. And it's not just like one couple.
You can only pick one.
I could probably name like 3-4 couples that are closest that each have a characteristic or something that thrives in their relationship. And these are people that we're talking about that are close to us, right?
No, they don't even have to be close. It's just a couple that you know of or that you know or that you've witnessed or that you've seen. Shoot, it could be a celebrity couple for all I care. I don't care. I just want to know if there is a couple whose relationship you look up to and admire, and why. What is it about the relationship that makes you feel like that?
Someone that I've been listening to recently over the last couple, and I haven't shared this with you yet because I am making sure that I'm on board for my own changes that I want to see in my life.
Okay.
And in our lives. But I was watching television when he got home. Well, a YouTube podcast yesterday. And the couple is Ken and Tabitha.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're pastors. But oh man, this guy like speaks to men's hearts. And he has been talking about leadership, being a steward, being a priest and a king in your home, which is all biblical stuff. But recently, there's some things that I've been listening to that he has talked about, and him and his wife share that the first few years of their marriage were just like miserable. Mm-hmm. But her as a wife had always been seeking God to see how do I approach my husband in a way that I can come in love and not bring change, but help be the person of change. Mm-hmm. Where she worked on changing herself and praying that God would change him, and through her actions and prayer, God changed him by exposing those things that he was not fulfilling in her. Mm-hmm. And I think the spiritual part of what they share and what they have is it's something that
You okay, baby?
Yes. It's something that we don't have, and it's not because something that you don't have. Oh, it's something that I don't bring as being a man in our relationship. I have not stood up to be the spiritual covering in our home.
It's okay, baby.
And I guess what's so difficult for me on that is I've known this is an area that I need to be stronger in, I need to be grown, but I've been resistant in it. And it's not any other reason besides my own that I just have not trusted God in that area, I guess, or I don't have faith in myself. But God, he said something yesterday that really struck my heart. And basically, if I don't put God first in my life and I can't love him, that there's no way that I can love and lead you. And that hurt. That was hard to hear, and I've heard it before, but I think just in the place that we're at right now and how I feel, and God, even yesterday or today, I was listening to something that was talking about, do you like to listen to ratchet music? And I do. I like ratchet music. But God's been convicting me on this for probably a good month or so.
Yeah, you do.
And there's times that I've had this playlist on my phone and I'll play the whole thing, but the last couple months God has been dealing with me on that. And today I heard something that was very impactful, that if God is trying to, if you're seeking God in your relationship and you're trying to have a relationship with him, why would you bring in stuff from the world that is just going to go against everything that his word speaks? Mm-hmm. And that hit me hard, because one thing now is I am working on building my relationship to get closer with God. And if I'm not reading my Bible, then I'm not having relationship with him. If I don't spend time with you, I don't have relationship with you. So if I'm spending 6-7 hours watching Netflix and I'm watching podcasts throughout work and I'm spending 5-6 hours a day listening to that, but I'm going to church for 2 hours twice a week. What do you think more? What am I getting more of?
Yeah.
More of the world, more of what we're being told, that there's so much stuff.
You gotta restart it, baby.
And we are back. So yeah, I think there's just been a lot of stuff that my focus has not been strategically organized.
Mm-hmm.
And at times I'm like, oh, well, I can listen to this, and I go to church, and I do this, and I read my Bible a little bit. But no, if I'm seriously looking at digging in and getting serious and getting to the point, and I think this is what makes my heart feel burdened about, is that if I know where God wants me to be,
mm-hmm.
and He's showing me what I need to do, now I'm faced with the reality of what I have to deal with and what I have to sacrifice and what I have to cut to get to that point.
And that's something that you don't want to give up? Or you're not ready to?
I think I'm just being stubborn of not wanting to do it or not having done it, but it's to the point where I know I need to in order for me to grow. If that's something that God's convicting me on, which I hadn't felt that. I hadn't been convicted on that in a long time. I mean, I haven't felt anything about it. And I've even told you that when we started dating, I was like, what's something you don't know about me? Well, I listen to bougie music.
I was shocked. I will tell you that. Like, I could not picture you listening to that kind of music ever in my life. I'm like, Jeremy listens to this? What?
Yeah, and I love all forms of music. I mean I listen to country, I listen to jazz, I like blues, I like Christian music, I like
we're music people, so we like
rap music, I like old school music, I like all that. But there's specific things that God is showing me that, no, you need to cut that out. I'm like, but I like that. I like that song. I like that genre. Anyways, yeah.
Maybe start with the clean versions, baby. And then, baby steps. Take it one step at a time. Well, like it's like working out and on your health and your fitness. You got to do that every day to stay healthy and fit.
Yeah, I have to cut cake out.
So it's the same thing with your spiritual health. You
every
have
day.
To do it every day. Be in the Word. Pray. Listen to a Christian podcast but I did not expect that from this question from you.
Thank you.
That was very, very deep and heartfelt, and I appreciate that. Why are you laughing? I'm being serious. You know why? Because it is that what you just did right there is part of emotional intimacy. And we don't have a lot of that because you don't share a lot of that. We have like this happy, silly, goofy, laugh all the time kind of couple relationship, like happy-go-lucky, kind of go with the flow. But that kind of stuff right there is not something that you normally do.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's part of me earlier saying that I feel like the emotional intimacy lacks is because we don't really see a lot of it, I guess. But that's just a part of it. I think there's more. Like I think
on that part is because I've been avoiding it for a while. So, yeah.
Okay, baby.
But even when I was picking up poop in the yard the other day, God was showing me and telling me, and weirdest places.
While you were picking up poop?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was literally picking up big old chunks of Bruce's and Holly's poop, and he's sitting there telling me, you should really consider this. There's more blessing than there is. And I'm like, okay.
Well, I think it's my turn to answer a question.
Yes. Let's get this going.
Oh my.
don't remember what I asked you already. Okay, that one.
I'll tell you if you asked me that already.
Oh, I've got one. Where did it go?
That's not who I thought you were
Okay.
gonna say for the couple.
Who were you thinking of?
Well, I have my own, but I thought you would say somebody that we know. If it was someone close to us, who would you pick?
And it would be Josh and Dev.
You're kidding, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah,
And,
I agree,
and
but
reason
I
being
have others too.
that their love relationship with each other has always been like something I've looked up to.
Yeah.
The things that they've done for each other, the things that they do spontaneously. I mean, there's things we see them post stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'll go do that for my
cute.
wife. So we've replicated some things that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is, right now through difficult times, they are an example of what marriage and relationship and faith and all this stuff is.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So that stands out in my mind. And then, of course, I always think of other people too. So,
Okay.
But who stands out in yours?
Rich and Rosina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
I always
amazing.
See their posts or see them at church, and they're just always happy.
Yeah.
And even when they do go through hard times, they still are there for each other. They've been together for a long time, and since teenage years, and been together for a long time. A lot of people don't stick it out like that anymore. No. And I think that their relationship is just something really to aspire to, and they go on trips together, and just how they love each other and how they speak about one another in public or, just in general. It's just beautiful to see.
They have the full circle. It and this is from just our view from outside, but from the outside looking in, they seem to have everything working on all cylinders.
Including the spiritual.
Their spiritual is always
strong.
First and main thing. Second is their relationship. Mm-hmm. Third, it's like they bring their family and everything else, and then work and all that other stuff. But they do have a very impactful dynamic of what they do, and that is definitely goals, relationship goals
for sure. Two great couples that are strong.
Yeah.
In different areas.
Yeah, because you think some of the things that they've gone through, both couples, most people would divorce.
Call it quits,
quit.
Lose faith.
Lose
hope.
faith. In both of these couples, they draw closer to God.
Right.
Even though times are hard, even though life's not perfect, and we know that life's not perfect for anybody. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. That's something that I pray will be a reflection of.
Right.
I know we're in our second year of marriage now. Mm-hmm. We're going towards our 2-year anniversary, but we're not in 13 years yet. We're not 22 years. We're not 7 years. And and anything can happen during those times.
Right. And I do believe that time, experience creates a deeper relationship and creates more intimacy. The more time you spend together, the more stuff you've gone through together, and going through hurdles and just life together deepens your relationship. It makes you love each other more. It just does. And we're just not there yet. But I'm liking this stage, baby.
Yeah. I think right now it's like we're building foundation, right? Mm-hmm. I think we both come from experiences where we've had disappointment. Mm-hmm. We've gone through the cheating, we've gone through unfaithfulness, we've gone through lying, we've gone through
Divorce,
not
loss.
yeah, we've dealt with a lot of that in different ways with different people. But now that we've come to this point to where you and I are together, it's like we're not going to play games.
Right.
Like, we're here to love each other.
Mm-hmm.
We're here. I'm here to be your biggest fan. I want to be your biggest supporter in everything that you do, and I want to push you. And I know you can do anything you put your mind to.
Thank you.
And I believe you make me feel like you see me in that same way. You know, when I come up with a dream or something that, babe, I really want to do this. You can do it, babe. Let's do it. You know, how do I need to support you in this? What do we got to do? This whole podcast thing. You know, you've been nothing but supportive and pushing and on board with anything that I want to do and what we change and how we do stuff. It's like, let's go.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think we're building a great foundation. There's more that we are adding into that to make things stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if we ever do get to a point where, you know, eventually we're going to have something that comes in our relationships that's going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if those things are already built, when those things come, it's not going to shake us. It's not going to rock us. It's not going to, like, we're going to be able to dig in and say, this is everything we've done to this point to get through this.
Yeah.
So
I think so too. I forgot whose turn it was.
you asked the last question.
I did?
Yeah.
What was it?
About who we look up to as
Yeah,
a relationship.
but we were past that.
Oh, were we? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You had asked me one. I don't know. I guess ask me one. Because I think it was my turn, but I don't know 100%.
What is your biggest fear about our relationship?
You know what that is.
I don't know. I'm waiting to hear it in my voice, in my ears.
My biggest fear is that you would die. Before, like, that you would die young. Like, if you die, 80, 90, like, perfect.
Yeah.
We had a long life together. But I don't like you right now. Last year, when you were having those heart issues and we had to go to the emergency room because your heart was like beating way too fast, and you had like blacked out and had like this seizure right there in the lobby, I was like low key freaking out. Not on the outside, on the inside.
Yeah. You were like super calm.
Well, you weren't
supportive.
even awake.
When I did wake up,
oh yeah,
you were.
Yeah. Well, because
I just remember laying on you, and then I remember being in a whole different room with like 7 people around me.
Yeah. Well,
like, how did you hear? How did you hear?
Yeah, exactly. Well, because because I lost Chris in 2020, I became a young widow, and I never thought that was going to happen. So, I mean, my fear is that it would happen again. Oh my gosh, I think I'd be devastated. But I pray against it. I don't believe in that. But that time because that was the first time that you had to go to the ER. That was the worst time. We went again because you noticed the signs later and you were like, we got to go. I was like, yeah. So we went, and you didn't pass out this time. But the first time was the scariest for me because we had you in a wheelchair, and you were just like this, jerking. And no, it's not funny. You had
I was dancing.
You were foaming from your mouth too. And so I'm praying under my breath and speaking in tongues under my breath and trying to, just take care of you in that way. But I was like, can we get some help over here? And then I started praying. And then they got you in right away instead of making you wait, which was a great thing. But that time for me was very scary because that's what I fear, is losing you. And not even just you, just losing anyone I'm really close to really at this point, but especially you, because I know what that pain feels like. And it doesn't really ever go away.
Yeah.
And so seeing you like that in a, hospital setting, I did call Desiree and or I think I had texted, hey, please pray for Jer. We're here. This is why. And then I probably shared with her that night, I think, my fears or something. But I'm just like, I don't even know how to articulate this. That's my fear. I just would hate that.
It brought all those feelings back to where you've
did.
experienced with what you went through with Chris. And
it
so
did.
Chris was her previous husband that you can tell me.
Yeah.
For someone that might not be familiar with.
Yeah. If you're not familiar, we did some episodes about it, and I think season 1 and 2 or 2. And, but Chris was my late husband. We were married for 1 year and 3 months, and he passed away from COVID in 2020. And it was just unexpected. He was 43, he was young. And so it was a huge thing for me and my family. And so it is something that I think about a lot, actually, often, especially around the holidays or his birthday.
Yeah.
And recently, my son Carter brought him up, and I mentioned to you what he said. Yeah. And gosh, is this a crying episode? So Carter said, he had said that he missed Chris. He missed his sternness because he was the disciplinarian and he was good at it. He hated it at the time, but now he misses it. And he said that his words were, I wish he was still here. Because he was so wise and he could answer all of my questions that I have about God and about the Bible. And so, when Carter's telling me that, I'm just like, yeah, you're right. He was very wise. And it made me feel like I'm not where I need to be because he doesn't see me that way. He saw Chris that way, but he doesn't see me or you or his parent or his dad or any other person in his life that way, that he can go and get godly counsel from or have his questions answered. So anyways, he mentioned that to me a couple weeks ago. And we had a long conversation about that and about other things. And it was nice because, Carter doesn't open up all the time. But when he does, man, he opens up. So it was nice to have that moment with him.
Yeah.
But that's just, I guess part of life. Death is a part of life. And that's something that I don't want to experience again. So that's why if I get on you, I'm like, you can't eat that. Like, take your vitamins. Like, do that. Like anytime I'm pushing you to do better and eat healthier, just know that it's because I'm trying
out of love.
I'm trying to prolong your life. And seriously, that's the only thing. It's like, oh, you have a what's it called? I forgot the name, and it's something tachycardia where
I don't know.
I know the name, but I can't think of it right now. But it's where you have a rapid heartbeat sometimes. And you had high cholesterol, and like, so I'm like, you gotta take this, and so, anyways,
every morning she's like, you didn't get your vitamins. I know.
Yeah, so that is the why behind my madness with you is like, hey, you gotta do this.
See, but I think that brings a balance because that's not always top of my mind.
I know.
Like I'm like, oh, okay, I need to do that. Yeah, I'll do that, and then. Like,
yeah.
I want a ribeye, I want a burger, I want to go eat at Taco whatever, I want to go to Tokyo, Bangkok, I want sushi, I want this, I want,
Yeah, and I do too sometimes, but not all the time. And you're like all the time. So, but yeah, I think that would be my fear is just losing you too soon.
Yeah.
And, I want to be married for 50 plus years. I want to be like Rich and Rosina and be married forever.
Yeah. Have a beautiful story.
Yes, exactly.
The other beautiful part behind their relationship is now their children and their granddaughter.
Yeah.
And like, I know their daughter wasn't serving God there for a long time, and the kids were young.
Yeah, I remember that, and it's beautiful to see now.
And now, like, they're both serving on the worship team. Their granddaughter, oh my gosh, she has a beautiful voice, a powerful voice.
The power of prayer, man. I'm sure Rich and Rosina prayed and prayed for their children. And look now.
And
what a blessing.
You benefit from the fruits of that. There's labor. There's, they've gone through the labor pains of doing that. Now they're seeing the rewards of it. But that's why I think, your spiritual health is so important, because we don't always keep that on the front of, our mind. A lot of times it's like, oh, well, you're not thinking about your children, your grandchildren, and their children. One of the beautiful things about Chris is that he was very consistent in his faith.
Very.
He was always, we would give him crap about everything, and he was like, I don't care. He didn't care. He was like, he knew who he was in Christ, and he knew who
didn't care what people thought
God had called him to be, and he knew his role, and he did not waver from that.
No.
And when he did pass, I mean, the services that they had for him, I mean, that was probably, out of two services that I've ever been to, or two of the funeral services that I've been to, those are the two that stand out, is his and Levi's dad.
Yeah.
Where we just walked away going,
we're like,
wow, I need to be better. Like, I want my life to reflect what we just saw in this.
Yeah.
And yeah, his he still has an impact on our lives. He still has an impact on so many other people's lives. That will never go away.
No, never. So that's my answer.
You want to do one more?
Sure.
I'll let you decide.
I will.
I'll give you three. I'm gonna ask. Are you good? Okay.
I just answered one.
Go ahead.
I just answered your question.
You're good. Go. Your turn.
Okay. Well, shoot. Some of these are probably quick answers, so.
That's good. We can do a quick round. Let's just do a shoot off. You ask, I answer. I ask, you answer.
What's been your favorite vacation so far with me? Can I pick one?
Our New England states. By far, so far.
Me too. Same.
What are your unfulfilled desires and dreams?
That is not an easy question.
Make it quick.
Unfulfilled desires and dreams? Like, in what respect? Like, what aspect are you talking?
Okay, next question. What does your I love you mean?
To you?
When you tell me you love me, what does it mean?
It means what it means. I love you. I love your personality. I love your eyes. I love your lips. I love your beard. I love your farts. I love all of you, all of your flaws. When I say I love you, I mean it. It means I don't just like a piece of you. I like the whole pie.
Okay, your question now.
Would you still love me if I was a worm?
I would take you fishing.
I would die if you took me fishing. You're gonna put me on the thing and really?
No, I would not love you if you're a worm.
What? Oh.
You are never going to be a worm. You have never been a worm. A worm is like this. It's just one.
I know that.
It's like this. You are not like this. You have.
I know.
Girl.
But my point. Okay, let's just say one day a magic fairy comes and turns me into a worm, and you wake up.
That's stupid.
Just listen.
That's
you
dumb.
wake. I go to bed right next to you. You wake up and I'm a worm. Would you still love me and be married to me?
I would freak out and I would be like, Holly!
Hold on.
Holly would eat you.
I'm gonna twist it a little. A worm that talks.
Oh my gosh.
Would you still love me?
Yes, I would put you in one of the plants and I'd go talk to you every once in a while.
Okay.
Wow. What is your one non-negotiable?
In our relationship, in what?
In life. Of course, our relationship. This is a relationship podcast.
A non-negotiable.
What is your one non-negotiable? Negotiable.
I think I need more.
Oh my gosh.
You answer that question.
How do you think we've grown as a couple since we first met?
How have we grown?
How do you think we've grown as a couple since we first met?
Why do you say it like that? I think that from the very beginning, I think we've definitely grown spiritually. Even though we're not where we want to be,
We've come a long way.
I do feel like there has been growth. And I'm a big, firm believer in progress and not perfection. So as long as there's progress, I'm okay.
Okay.
So yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, next.
This will be my last question.
Okay.
If you want me to ask it.
Okay. Sure.
If someone told you you're a lot like your husband, would that be a compliment to you?
Hell yeah. Wait, can I say that? Heck yeah. You know why?
No.
Let me tell you why. Because before you, I was always really moody. Like even before Chris passed too. Like I was just really moody. I'm a moody person. Or I'd be in a bad mood but you bring so much joy. So much joy. And somebody had commented on our cake video, oh my gosh, his joy is so infectious. And I wholeheartedly agree because you just bring that light. Like, I just cannot help but laugh when I'm with you. And so if somebody says, you're just like your husband, I'm like, yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome, baby. That's a compliment. I didn't know what you were going to say on that. I didn't expect to hear that. Yeah.
Mm. Well, joy comes from the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your super secret behavior you do when I'm not home?
Super secret behavior.
Mm-hmm. You don't have one? I do.
I have one.
Really?
If I do it, you smell it on me. If I...
That's called smoking a cigar.
Usually the stuff I do is just like silly and crazy anyways. I still do that around you. Yeah, I don't have anything secretive. I need to have something secretive.
So you're telling me that you have never done something
I do everything
in the
in
house.
front of you.
No, but like when
if
I'm not, when
stuff
I'm
that
not
I would
home.
typically do when you're not here, I do it when you're here. You hear it, you're all gross.
Besides your farts, like, and besides smoking cigars, like, there's not a show you watch that you don't watch with me, or like, you know,
Yeah, there's some action movies that I'll go and watch.
walk
and
around
stuff,
naked or nothing.
I do that around
Pick your
you.
nose.
I do that around you. I did that last night. You told me I had a booger on me.
Well, I didn't see you pick your nose. I just saw one hanging. Okay.
Everyone picks their nose. I'm guilty. Yeah.
You want to try
No,
to...
I don't have anything secretive.
Well, it doesn't have to be secretive, but
Well, I'm trying to
anything
think,
that
no.
you do while I'm not here, like, you know, maybe when the house is empty, you want some peace and quiet.
Talk
You
to
want
the
to
dogs?
read a book or something.
No.
Oh, okay.
Nothing stands out on that one.
I sing and dance in the mirror.
You do that when I'm here.
Not in the mirror. Oh, I did the other day, I guess. Yeah. I also have prayed and anointed the whole house. I do that when no one's home. I will pray. I'll touch Carter's pillows and pray, and the windowsills and the doors. I go in every single room. We've never done it together, but I've done it a couple times by myself.
Yeah. There have been times that I have blasted worship music, and I have like prayed in tongues, and I've like had my own little worship thing.
See?
Like going on, but that's
Me too. I do that too.
other than that, that's like nothing that's secretive though.
Well,
But I've told
I
you
guess
that.
secretive isn't the right word. Just what do you do in the home when no one's home? There's a lot more questions, but it would require.
We took some time on a couple questions.
We
so.
did, and if we keep going, it would require this to be like a 2.5 hour podcast.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's like a whole nother hour.
I know,
Wow.
and it's already going to be a little over an hour, so we're good. Baby,
Yes.
thank you for sharing your heart today.
You're welcome.
I love it when you share your heart
Thank you
with
for
me.
asking these heart-thinking questions.
I really like it when you share. Just so you know.
It's hard to sometimes, but it's needed. Yeah.
Yes. So, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Turning the Page with
Jer
and Gel. Q&A with Jer and Gel.
Yeah.
It was fun, baby.
I enjoyed it.
Me
I always
too.
enjoy talking to you.
See,
Always
did you
enjoy
like my idea?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I liked it. We both got emotional.
We did. That was unexpected.
No.
But we just hope that you got something out of today's episode. If you
Yes.
did, please share it, like it. We would love your feedback. That would be awesome. And like and subscribe. We love new followers.
Yes, we do. Check out our social media pages. We've got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We are also on Twitter.
Yes, we are.
But
And you can listen to our podcast on all podcast platforms.
yes, we are on all platforms.
Yes.
Thanks,
So-
everybody.
Bye.